All right, people, let's get to it, man. All right, a little technical difficulty this morning, but yeah, ain't nothing but a thing, man. Ain't nothing but a thing. So today's challenge is to highlight something local, and this is really easy, and it's easy, but yet it can be difficult. It can be difficult based on your personality and your anxiety level. And if you're not comfortable posting online yet, this might be difficult. And this is another reason why it's a challenge. But even if you're comfortable posting online, this still might be a little bit of a difficult challenge. And the reason being is you can easily just like set your alarm on your phone to go off at a random time, or you could have a couple times. And it could be your cue to stay, okay, wherever I'm at, I'm going to step up, or I'm going to stop what I'm doing, or I'm going to stand up and take a picture and say, hey, this is what I'm doing, and post it. And it could be you're at lunch, or you're at a conference, or you're whatever you're doing, and talk about what you're doing. Or in this case, we want to focus on something local. Focus on something local. So if you're going to lunch, if you're going to dinner, if you're going somewhere with your family, talk about where you're going. Talk to the manager about, the place you're at. Just the business you're at. Just post it and just talk about it. You'll be surprised in how it can turn around and play huge dividends for you. We did this with the Chick-fil-A challenge, and we got out on the pages. So I mean, it's just crazy on how something so small and innocent can reap big rewards for you. So when you're not trying to how do I want to say this? When you're not trying to sell something, you're not trying to get anything in return, and you're just trying to just do something good and expecting nothing in return. Those are typically the times when you're going to get the most in return. It's like giving a gift. If you're giving a gift out of the genuine kindness of your heart and you're expecting nothing in return, you're typically going to get a whole lot more in return. And it's better to give than to receive. And when you take that approach with it, it's incredible. And it'll pay huge dividends. Trust me on that. Trust me. All right. So that's today's challenge. Now, what I'm going to start doing going forward, I'm going to start posting daily the equipment I use and the apps I use. And you're going to see a spreadsheet either tomorrow or the next day. And the spreadsheet's going to contain a lot of stuff. And the majority of that stuff's on my phone. I don't use every bit of it, but there are certain things that I use regularly, and then there's certain things that are there for backup. And there's been times I've said already in this challenge, I use certain apps or programs because of preference. And there may be something I use, like Snagit. I talk about Snagit all the time. I love Snagit. You may be like, Mike, that sucks. I hate it. That's fine. Find something that works for you. And you might not like CapCut. That's fine. Find something that works for you. And that's why there's a lot of options on my spreadsheet. I also have links to the top 50 or the top 20 or the top 100 in specific categories. And you'll see where the apps I use are in those categories. Some are in the top 5. Some are in the top 10. Some are in the top 50. There's a couple that are just in the top 100. But I like that app for a reason, and that's why I use it. There's also like the scrolling effect. To take a picture, and an 8x11 picture, you can't squeeze that down really effectively sometimes into an Instagram post, but you can keep it the same size and make it scroll. Well, you can easily do that in a couple different apps. I've got a couple we're going to put out there, like Lightroom Photo and Video Editor will do it. I'm going to put a link out there. Actually, I think I've already posted the link out there to show you how to do it. But the thing that I don't want to do is inundate you guys with a ton of stuff, because I promise you, once you see the spreadsheet, you're going to be like, oh my God, what in the world? It's going to be tons and tons of options. And I don't want you guys to feel like, oh, like you're overwhelmed. You just step into this stuff, man. Step into it, expand it as you need to. That's why I'm just not dumping all this stuff onto you guys. That's why the same thing with these challenges, a little step here, little step there, then we start to run, and then we start to jog. I mean, you're just going. Or actually, I guess we jog, then we run. But you get the point. So Unsquare is pretty cool. I showed you that the other day. There's a couple more I'm going to show you that, you know, they're a little bit more unique for certain applications. So it's just find one that works for you. That's all you need to do. And it's the same thing with this whole video thing. Find the process that works for you. So I posted the other day about doing grids on your phone. And I actually forgot to cover it the following day. So let's jump into this real quick. Let's go to, where did that go? There we go. So we're going to go into this real quick. Bring this down here to make sure I can still see it. Yep, there it is. All right, so on the grids, now the purpose of the grids, if anybody has taken a photography class, this helps you line things up. This obviously is your true center right here. That's kind of goes without saying. But if you're shooting vertically like this, this is your true center. So if you're thinking from an Instagram post, you need to keep whatever you're doing right in here, because you know all this and all this is about to get cropped out. Same thing if you turn this thing horizontal. Now you need to have everything shot in the center here, because everything on the sides is either going to get compressed or cropped out. Whereas if you're shooting here with no grids, you can't tell. And that's why I love shooting with grids. And I do it with everything. Let me connect my phone real quick, and I will show you this. And then let me change the view on this so you can see my phone screen. And we're going to switch over here. Share. We'll go to this one. Okay. So here's my phone. So if you just go to open the pic, my phone, it automatically opens the grids. You can see the grids there. So if you turn it sideways, then anything, this is weird trying to get the angle right, because it's showing you guys still vertical up there. It doesn't rotate. Even though I'm rotating it. You're still getting the vertical format. That doesn't help the way I wanted to show, but you get the point here. It's not rotating, but you can see it's rotating. I was hoping what you're seeing on screen was going to rotate, but it's not working. But the point is you shoot based on what you're seeing in these grids. So if I'm shooting in here, I know everything out here on the sides is being cropped out, and I need to focus my stuff right here. And if I was turning this whole thing sideways, then now I need to focus here because I know everything on the sides is going to be cropped out. So when you're shooting something, you need to zoom in or out or change your distance so that you're getting your subject in here enough so that you're leaving enough in the edge if you're doing a horizontal shoot. And then if you're doing this vertical shoot, you need to make sure you have enough of your person or enough of your subject here in the middle because you know you're going to come in on both of these sides. So let's demonstrate this real quick. So let's take this video and let's say we want to do that. So we're recording the cube, but let's say, so that's the cube. So that's that. All right. So now let me move this over to my team, not my teams. I don't want to send it via Teams. I'm gonna move this over to a video. I'm not my video editor, but my Dropbox, my OneDrive. I'm sorry. Files, text. I'm gonna do file transfer, upload here. All right. So then I'm going to drop this over into an editor real quick, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about just to be certain. Come on, finish. All right. So there's that. So get rid of that, and then I'm going to stop screen sharing. So that's that. So now what we want to do is open up a new session here. And then I want to open up my OneDrive. And I'm not going to show you this just for time's sake. I'm just going to go grab the file and bring it down. So I'm going to download this. So there's that. Now I'm going to go grab it, import it. Downloads right there. Bring it in. Conversion rate. Okay. So here's the file. Now, it's already in the I should have shot this the other way. It's already in the format we want for Instagram. But let's say I wanted to make this even narrower and I wanted to zoom in on it. So let's say I wanted to get in closer. Well, at that point now, because I shot this at a distance, I can zoom into it and I can crop out these edges without a problem. And that's what this helps you do, is you know where you're at with those grids, because if you're inside that center column, then you know you have plenty of room, if you're leaving all that room on the outside columns, to be able to zoom in and crop it out. And that's the whole purpose of that. So hopefully that makes perfect sense to you there. And then if you turn around and then let's say we go back to, actually take that back to normal. Now let's say we go back to where we zoomed in on it real close. Now we don't have as much room to play. So now if we zoom in, we don't have much room at all on these edges. Whereas before we had plenty of room. So you don't leave yourself that much room for error when you don't know where you're at as far as distance proper without using those grids. So if you got any more questions about that, let me know. But I think that drives the point home, and you guys get the point here. All right, so let's see here. Move that around, get back over here. All right, that's that. And then where did I want to go? I want to stop with that here. Stop with that piece. Move that there. All right. So I'm going to start uploading little cheat sheets like, actually, I need to go back to this. Little videos or tutorials like this that I find very, very useful and very informative. And like this one goes through and talks about how it's going to make me download it from here. Is it still going to keep it showing there? No, it's going to pop it. Let's see if it'll share this tab. Well, I hate it when it does that. Let's see, hold on, it's going to make me change what I'm sharing here. There we go. So this gets into actually explaining everything about the size and the ratios, because if the picture is too small, as far as from a pixels point of view, it's going to expand it, and if it's too big, it's going to reduce it. And then at the same time, you need to understand how it crops, how Instagram is designed to crop it. And the more I research this, the more I learn about it, the more I think I'm just going to go to where I'm just going to do just straight up. It's either going to be a reel or it's going to be a square post. It's either going to be a 1080 by 1080 square post or it's going to be a reel, and that's it. And then that way I can focus on just having any kind of text that I do on a reel is dead center in a square. And then whatever the margin is the margin at the top and the bottom, and whatever Instagram wants to crop is fine. And the reason being is when you start thinking about everything, and this article talks about it, everything else is based on a square, a 1080 by 1080 square. And I mean, from Pinterest to Facebook, TikTok, I mean, everything is based on that square, that 1080 by 1080 post. So if everything's universal to that, then you know that if that's how everything's formatted, it's going to properly display all the way across every social media channel. And that's what this is really talking about here, is making sure that everything is proportionally displayed the way you want it displayed across all channels. So read this article just for that, and it'll save yourself a lot of time and frustration going forward. And here's a perfect example of having this regular reel format, but then it's not properly formatted for a square. And if you don't have it formatted that way, then it's going to show up this way. So read this and check it out. You'll find this very, very enlightening. So that's out there. And like I said, I'm going to continue to put stuff like this out there. Let me see if I stop sharing this, if it's going to go back to Facebook. Yep, there we go. Good. This is another good one right here where it starts talking about some similar stuff with YouTube. And then here's the seamless. This is a really, really good video. This talks about how to make the carousel post, where you do the multiple pages and you layer everything, and you go into Kavana and you set out everything that we started to do the other day, and we're gonna finish that. I just didn't want to do that today with the time change, or not the time change, but with the technical issue this morning. We're gonna finish that tomorrow, where you go out and set up your canvas, and then we chop it all up to create your individual slides, your individual backdrops, and then overlay whatever picture or images you want. And then if you want to do a voiceover on it, then you just record the voice and all that. I mean, it's everything step by step for doing this right here, because that's all it was. The only difference is I created one canvas piece here that I use for every single one because I wanted uniformity. But what this video shows you is how to have one big continuous canvas piece so it flows, and to cut those up into exact uniform pieces. And then you can layer your information on top of it like I'm showing you here. And then you can either post it to Instagram as a reel or a scrolling carousel, Or if you want to add audio, a voiceover, you do what I did, and you take each individual image. When I say image, is the checked all the way out of that, is the final piece where it's all layered together like this whole page where everything's layered and all together, and you upload it into, like, in this case I put it into Instagram, and I did a voiceover, and then I saved it back into my phone, and that's where it's showing this piece is a 16-second clip, this is a 20-second clip, this is 24-second. And once I got all the audio recorded, then I took and uploaded them all back into Instagram and lined them up the way I wanted them, and then I posted them. So it's a little bit more labor intensive if you're doing the audio piece, but if you want to be able to explain and narrate on each slide or each page, then it's an extra step. If you don't need any narration, it's no big deal. You just upload them and go. You know, it's whatever you want to do. It's all on what you want to do and what you want the end result to be. So that's that. I wanted to catch up all that, explain the grids, explain this a little bit more. And what we're going to do is we're going to pick up on creating these and doing this whole process tomorrow. And like I said, this video is excellent for that. It goes through, it helps you with setting up the custom size, doing the rulers, everything that we were doing yesterday. So you don't have to come back and watch just one video. There's this video. There's always other videos out there too. So there's tons of resources, tons of them. But I will constantly start posting these in here, the ones that I like the most, the ones that I think have helped me the most, the ones that, you know, coaches have shared with me, and I'll put them in here so you guys can have them as references as well going forward. So, and I think that's it. So, again, don't freak out when you see this Excel spreadsheet. You don't have to use all these apps I'm about to put out there. They're just for you to look at and to have as a guide. And they're going to be categorized. And I'll show you the ones I use. You don't have to use them. They're just there as a reference. I'll show you why I use what I use, and then take it as a suggestion. Find what works for you. The biggest thing is just do it, man. It's like Nike says, just do it. Do it, do it, do it. So that's it. Back at our regular time tomorrow. And knock on wood, no technical issues. See you tomorrow. You guys have a good one. See ya.